lot of branding learnings, and I got to know branding is something it need to be done for everyone, every product, every company. So since we are talking about personal branding, you as a person trying to learn some technology, let's say Salesforce, could be AWS, could be Java, could be frameworks like Node.js or something, or you are trying to achieve some of the companies, let's say in FMCG industry, automotive industry, or deep tech industries, or AI, if you want to pursue. So you know what are the things you want to be into, right? Let's say Salesforce, if we take an example, and within Salesforce, you want to be in, let's say, a consulting firm, right? Big Four consulting firm. These are the two attributes you want to get into as a student. Now, how can you build a personal brand in a way you can actually land up into that particular job, right? That is a roadmap or a pathway for you are setting. So first you need to showcase your skills on Salesforce. How will you showcase? Salesforce as a platform called Trailhead. You can able to do badges, you can able to do super badges, and there you can do certifications and you post it about them, right? That is one way. If you want to build a more personal brand on Salesforce, you can actually do a lot of hands-on practice. You go through a lot of bugs, you go through a lot of issues. Try to post those issues. What is the root cause analysis and how did you solve that? Immensely give a lot of attraction to the recruiters because they always look for problem solvers, right? So you are a problem solver. That itself is a personal brand for you. And not only that, since you are looking for, let's say, taking an example of Big Four, right? You also taking up some of the consulting case studies. You take consulting case studies, you solve it using Salesforce, and you can also, tag some of the Big Four companies and the practice leaders or the practice managers of Big Four, and represent your case study as a solution. That itself is you are building some, personal brand for yourself, saying that, hey, I have solved a Big Four case study using Salesforce. And you know what, my friend, you will definitely be into the eyes of the recruiters. You will definitely be into the eyes of, in that specific case, Big Four. And whenever Big Four has, hiring, or whenever Big Four asks their employees to look after referrals, you will be the first person to be considered because you have built a certain personal brand for yourself. And your aura should be out in the LinkedIn platform, and whatever you represent in LinkedIn, that is you for the recruiters. So be professional, be whatever you want to do, and you need to look after a lot of stuff in LinkedIn. But yeah, as Kathy rightly mentioned, you need to be professional. Don't put more of the personal life unless or until if it is a personal achievement. Yeah.
I agree to you, Sesha. I mean, it's rightly said that you have to somewhere in your life you have to start building your personal brand because that is something that actually not just recruiters but anyone looks at you when they are meeting you for the first time, let's say professionally, they'll go through your LinkedIn, they'll get to have that personal feel of how you are as a person. If and it's also advised when you meet someone, it's also advised that you know some things about that person, right? And that some things can actually be on LinkedIn. So it's actually really important to start building a personal brand as soon as possible, with all of the things that you actually are doing. Just showcase what you are doing. You do not have to be fake, or if someone is actually doing something, you are also trying to, you know, build that same thing for yourself. You actually do not have to do that. Just rethink yourself, maybe come up with some good ideas, showcase it to the world. Then only you will be considered as a differentiator amongst others, and also build that personal brand for you. So, I mean, we talked about, building the personal brand, how exactly the LinkedIn can be started. But I mean, you already covered my follow-up questions, wherein, what kind of content should freshers go ahead and post. But for the ones who are actually creating their LinkedIn accounts for now, what are the first three things they should actually immediately do?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have seen many profiles really good, but they don't have a photo. I can't trust those profiles. So, first of all, please put your photo. Write a bio, but there is a headline or bio we call it as. So you put what exactly you are, right? Let's say I'm a product specialist at my organization. I put I'm a product specialist at with my organization name. I have been certified into certain Salesforce certifications. I have put it over there. So what exactly you are? I mean, I'm also a co-founder of one of the community conference. I kept it there. That is our personal brand, a conference brand. So that exact line is something which represents you. You need to keep it. There are a lot of advantages. I'll talk more about that probably later. And this is the first thing, photo and bio. Second thing is you need to fill some of the columns. Very important. One is work experience column and another is the education column. You might be asking a question if you're a fresher, hey, I don't have work experience, but you can put your internships. So internship column is very important. I'm sure many of you have done internships post second year, third year, or while you're pursuing fourth year. So put those internship, write a detailed description about your internship, what you have done and what is the benefits you have created for yourself and for that company, and your education. While putting your education, you need to specify your schooling, your plus one, plus two, and your undergraduation and post graduation, and also make sure while keeping that instead of simply keeping x year to y year you have pursued in this education, try to explain it more. Are you a topper? You might have some spike in your undergraduation. You not to be gold medalist. You need not to be a topper, but you can mention I have been, maybe if I need to put it my one, I was a Salesforce community leader when I was in college. That is one point. I got, let's say 8.5 CGPA. That is one of the, a good spike if I can show in terms of education. You can also keep it as I'm a club member, club leader. I used to lead the placement coordination is something I used to lead. That actually gives a huge leadership quality essence to the recruiters. So you can put these pointers for internship as well as education. One is photo and bio. Second thing is your education and work experience. Third thing you need to do is you need to start sending connections to a relevant people. So let's say, as taken the last example, Salesforce and Big Four, you need to identify those people, send them the connection request. In case if they are not accepting the connection, maybe for certain reasons, at least follow them so that your feed will be filled with those content what you are looking for, and you keep on interacting with those people by liking and commenting. You will definitely come into their eyes. You being the first timer into the LinkedIn, I think these are the three must and should you need to follow.
I agree, Seisha. I mean, make sure actually following is really important in LinkedIn on who you follow, making sure that your feed actually turns up with the same content that you're looking for. But with the whole thing that you just said, there are exactly two very important questions that pops up in my mind, which is something that I'm sure our listeners are waiting for. Firstly, you mentioned about the headline, the about section to be filled, or some sections to be filled in LinkedIn, making sure that those are actually filled up with the exact knowledge that you're doing. But for someone who actually do not have a job experience, or let's suppose the internship opportunity is also not there for them, how can they actually make these sections shine?
Yeah. So education is something you're anyway pursuing, you will keep it there. How can you shine your sections is you can put your learning experiences. Let's say I am pursuing a Coursera course. I am pursuing a course in Udemy, or I am doing trial badges or trial super badges, or I am doing certifications of Salesforce. Assume you don't have internship, assume you're not into a job. At least put those learnings. There is a section called certification, license and certification section. That is a very powerful section. And you need to put all your certifications which you have claimed probably from schooling age. You need not to be your undergraduate, right? You got a certificate or award of best communicator, right? That gives a signaling effect that, oh, this person has a communication. You put your certificate on Salesforce. If you have done, let's say, some of these Salesforce certifications are free, very few, and there are paid ones. You can get a voucher and you can do, and you can also put those certifications. Not only that, there is a project section. If you are pursuing any mini project or major project in your college without having an internship in hand, you can actually fill those project section. So this sections definitely gives a edge over others, and you will be definitely identified irrespective of you having an internship or a job offer in hand.
I agree with you. And the next question that is there, Sesha, is you exactly mentioned on how follow is important and following relevant people is important.
Yeah.
But is it okay to connect with people that we really do not know personally? Or how exactly do you recommend freshers building a strong and relevant network on LinkedIn for themselves?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a huge world, right? It's a 7 billion population. Definitely, you don't know 99.9999% of people, and it's absolutely fine, right? You still go to LinkedIn, go to the connection section, and see, search, what type of people you want to connect with. Let's say you want to connect with an employee of Google. Absolutely, go and send them the request. They may accept, they may not, but at least click the follow button. And you need to identify some of the inspirations. Let's say, take the old example, Big Four. In the Big Four, you want to get the inspiration from a senior Salesforce developer or a Salesforce developer or a Java developer or a AWS architect. Go to those profiles, just search it. LinkedIn has a very powerful search tool. Just search it, you'll get people out of that. Send them the request. Before sending the request, if you want to gauge their profiles, open their profiles, see what is the type of content they are posting. If those content is very helpful and relevant to you, send them the request. You will definitely get a request acceptance, or at least you will be followed. Since you are following them, you will be able to get lot of feed in and around that people. Let's say I talk more about Salesforce conference, Salesforce events, community, and the people who follows me get those content and they are engaging with those content. Same applies to Kathy talks about a lot of Salesforce freshers, how to build your career in Salesforce, as a fresher to till a very well-versed working professional. Also, she do a lot of community activities, community conferences and events. That is something people do follow us, and we constantly put some of the posts. At least, Kathy, I think we do minimum one per week or monthly, two, three for sure to engage our audience. So there are a lot of students who follow us and they got engaged. They do participate in our events. They build a huge network, and from digital to in person, right? That is something you need to think of. How can you start your career following people digitally, and how can you actually meet them in person, right? So and this is only possible through LinkedIn, because we as professionals, we post some of the things where, like, we are organizing event or we are participating in events, and you can actually follow them and you can actually get turn up into those events, and your inspiration of a LinkedIn turned out to be in front of you, taking, you can take a selfie and post it back in LinkedIn, right? This is a huge journey you can actually follow. And yes, the unknown people or the person whom you don't know has become one of your connection, probably a friend too. So yeah, and building a very good network with professionals is always a win-win for you.
Absolutely. I mean, it is totally okay to connect with people you don't know personally on LinkedIn, because as long as you do it right way, it's fine. Because LinkedIn is actually a professional networking platform. It's named it as such. It's been recognized it as such. So it's obviously there to network it, and reaching out to expand your network is obviously encouraged every time. You just have to be intentional about connections. Maybe someone who actually you aspire to be, or maybe someone who inspires you a lot. You can follow them, you can connect with them, you can actually talk with that person to inspire you even more. This is where actually people will look at you on how exactly you're uh, kind of connecting with everyone. And I also feel that LinkedIn has a very good button of adding a note. So sending a personalized connection note is always recommended. And it actually is similar to an email that you send to someone, right? It's similar to that. So if you send an email, you just do not write, "Hi, please find something, regards, Kathy." You do not do that. You have a personalized connection that you have to build. You cannot just send your resume like that. You have to showcase what you do, show some respect and intent of why exactly you're, sending those connections. And I also feel that in just like other communities or just like other platforms, LinkedIn also has its relevant communities. So I believe whatever you're wanting to do or whatever you're trying to aspire for, follow those hashtags. Let's suppose I want to be a part of Trailblazer community. Then we have a hashtag called Trailblazer community. Just follow that hashtag, and you will actually get people being recommended to you, which is the powerful, technology side of LinkedIn, where it actually shows you the recommended people. And that is how you'll actually build relevant people, and you will do it the right way. Okay, moving on. We talked about a lot about the personal brand and how exactly LinkedIn helps and what we are actually doing on LinkedIn. And I'm sure that people would reach out to you now and then, seeing your wonderful LinkedIn brand that you have built for yourself, talking about, I've seen many posts talking about financial capabilities, abilities, how we can, not just financial, but then you also talk about the technology in different perspectives. You also talk about the product management side of the world as well. I mean, there are different niche areas that you have actually took up for yourself, and you talk about them very often. We also talked about the importance of talking or speaking about in the platform on what you build. But have you got any, people who actually reach out to you and say that, this is what I've done following you? Maybe some real life story that actually inspired them, and they created their LinkedIn presence, and they have got a great opportunity out of it.
Yeah, absolutely, Kathy. Many people, right? Being the face of the community, you always inspire a lot of people. Many people we do always organize events. People come up and show up and try to talk to us and share their stories. Uh, Always listen the stories that you know uh, the people who are actually not able to get a job or actually struggling with financials. Their parents are not earning well, and this person has a huge responsibility to become a breadwinner to the family and pursue the family in the better way. And these kind of people has a lot of passion, a lot of courage to get into the ecosystem, coming from small villages. And they come to Bangalore to learn Salesforce or to learn some other technology, and they actually learn. They participate in communities and events, and they do reach out to a lot of recruiters via their network in LinkedIn, and eventually they land up in a job. It is going to be a journey, need not to be, it will be done in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. It could be a short journey or a long journey, but somehow they land up. And they come back to us and share these stories, and it literally gives the tears in your eyes that, yes, we have impacted someone's life. We have actually put someone from a zero to hero position within a span of 6 months to 1 year. And these stories always, are very close to your heart. And yeah, I'm very privileged to hear these stories for last few years. And I'm sure our audience are also listening, and they will also be these success stories going forward. And they need to mention the success story in LinkedIn as well. It need to be celebrated. It need to inspire and motivate a lot of people. Yeah.
I agree, Sesha. I mean, LinkedIn is not just a job hunting tool. It's more of, being there, socially available to everyone, finding your mentors, staying updated on the industry trends, making sure that you're actually learning from professionals, and then also recognizing them for being your mentors. And when you just rightly said that being a community leader or the face of the leader community, where you actually have that, not the burden, but actually have that, spark of showing what exactly or how exactly it should be built. So I mean, for people who are listening to us, you have to reach at that point that people look up to you, and then you actually give back to the community as well. It's not just, reaching back there and just showcasing yourself and that is what I'm for here and I'm done. No, people have actually helped you. So go back and give back to the same community. There would be someone who's wanting to understand how to get started. There could be few other things or maybe few questions. Just go ahead and give back to what you have learned actually. Okay, Seisha, I mean, this conversation is very interesting and very heartwarming. But I mean, there are actually many misconceptions as well when you come into a platform like LinkedIn. Um, Up until now, we have platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or Twitters. We usually actually post very regularly there. It's like a life update tool or a platform that's been provided to us. If I'm going to Dubai, I have to go ahead and keep my Instagram updated. Back earlier when we were in school, it was Facebook, and then now it's become Instagram these days. But it's gonna evolve every time, and LinkedIn being there somewhere trying to fit in the professional network. Do you really think it's necessary to post regularly?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a mic drop thing. I have deleted my Instagram, Snapchat, and all the other platforms many years back. So because I want to be consciously spend time, that is my decision of taking those platforms away. But I pursue LinkedIn very actively. WhatsApp is another one which is more for personal conversations and personal posting of like going to Dubai or something as a WhatsApp status. That is the only status queue I pursue. But LinkedIn is something we need to maintain regularly. I use LinkedIn for professional communication as well as my personal communication in a professional way. How can I put it is, one is professionally, I have been awarded with something, I have been to an event as a speaker, as an organizer, or I learned something. I want to showcase that via certification or probably learning, hypothesis or synopsis or something. I post it. That is purely professional. How do I post my personal stuff in a professional way? Is, let's say you're talking about financial stuff, right? I do follow a lot of finance, YouTubers and financial blogs. I read a lot, and whatever I read and I pursue, I actually follow in my life. Let's say, take how to make sure your taxes are as minimal as possible, and you can earn better. How to, let's say, get a lifetime insurance or whatever the personal aspects. What I personally follow, I try to learn the best possible, get the best practices, and post it over in LinkedIn. So there is a personal brand of me, where people come and ask, "Hey, you do a lot of financial education. We liked it. Not only the community, Salesforce, and technology aspect." So that is something my personal thing, but I'm putting it out, making sure others are also learning. So to put all of this across, my frequency is at least one post a week. What people suggest is you can actually do every day one post, 365 days. I know there are few LinkedIn, uh, I could say, top boys who post every day. I follow a few people every day. I somehow see their post, like their post, if possible comment on their post. That requires a different level of commitment. If you feel that is too much, I mean, if spending every day half an hour, 1 hour on post, writing a post, if too much, at least try to put one post a week. Strong recommendation. At least put 2 3 posts in a month. Very strong recommendation. But if you have time, if you are learning something constantly, if you want to post something constantly, you can go probably 2 3 posts in a week as well. So to be honest, keep it more frequent. Show your face very often. Keep your learnings very often, so that there is a high chance of you getting recognized in many eyes. Let's say I'm active in this week, I have seen your post, but I'm not active in this week, I could miss your post. But somehow your post will come next week, I'll see your post. So your frequency matters, your consistency matters, and you should stick to it. And you should put some top three, top five things what you want to share, and share it often. So yeah, frequency matters.
Absolutely, Sesha. I mean, frequency does matter, and posting regularly on LinkedIn is actually a great way to build your personal brand. For the ones who are actually starting, go ahead and actually post regularly on LinkedIn. It helps you to stay, not just being visible to your network. It's obviously a perk. If you regularly post, you're gonna stay visible to your network, but it will also show your consistency, and it will also show your growth, which will actually eventually attract recruiters and like-minded peers for you. That is how actually the chain works. And it's also the other side where you actually do not need to post every day. It could be once a week or twice a month. It should not be forced. Just because you want to show your consistency, don't just go ahead and post anything you're trying to do on LinkedIn. It has to be very well professionalized when you actually do a post. How can you actually see it? Go ahead and check out the people you actually aspire to. That would showcase on how exactly you should go ahead and post it. You have to start simple. You have to share your learning journey, certifications, or any small thing that you have actually built. It would show your authenticity, and that is what actually stands on LinkedIn. The best part about LinkedIn is, as per what I know and what I have researched, nobody actually knows the frequency. It's not like your Instagram platform wherein a song is actually popped up, it's famous, and now everyone will have the same reel coming up in actually the whole world. LinkedIn is actually not that. So that is the best part. You don't know when your post is gonna be boomed up. You don't know if that is relevant to everyone or not. You don't know whether it's gonna come to everyone's feed or not. That is the best part, is what I feel about LinkedIn. You are actually not forcing yourself to create content to get it on someone's feed. You are doing it for building your brand. You're doing it in a manner that whosoever reaches out to your post actually is inspired and wanting to reach out to you back. So, I mean, that's the best part about LinkedIn. And Sesha, you have very well put everything together. And, before we wrap up, Sesha, just if you have to give one piece of advice to every student or fresher, or actually someone who's wanting to start with LinkedIn, or has already started LinkedIn just within few months, what would it be? What would be that one piece of advice?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Kathy. The reason why I've deleted Instagram or probably anything is because I'm scrolling a lot. I'm scrolling for hours, and it is not productive, and it's not good for me. I've somehow realized after scrolling for 2 3 days, and I deleted it. But what I understand is, am I getting anything spending time in that platform? My answer is in a way no. That's why I deleted. But similarly, I have dedicated the time back to LinkedIn. So my piece of advice is, spend more time on this platform. Like whatever the post you liked, comment whatever the post you want to comment, connect with lot of people, talk to people, personally DM them in a professional way, and make sure you spend a lot of time over there, and making sure you are building a presence over there. And as Kathy rightly mentioned last time, you need not to have a frequency of posting. You can do once in a week, monthly, twice. But at least what you can do is, you can actually like someone's post. You can actually comment someone's post. Even that itself is an engagement. I mean, I have seen tons of LinkedIn posts where it says Kathy liked this post, Kathy commented this post. That itself is something, you are building some impressions and network. So this will happen only if you spend a quality amount of time in that platform. So my only recommendation is, apart from whatever we have discussed, spend at least 1 hour in that platform every day. Maybe you can take off on weekdays, weekends, but weekdays, you should spend time, and that eventually gives a lot of leeway for you to learn something, represent yourself over that platform, and yeah, you will learn a lot of things, and you may never know that you will land up into your dream jobs as well.
Disclaimer, we are not asking you to delete your Instagram or Snapchat accounts. Those are for fun, and those should be there somewhere or the other. But what I feel is, what Sesha wants to tell you is that go ahead and spend most of your time on LinkedIn. Do not, because I mean, Instagram and all is very addictive. Once you start checking out one reel, you will not know when the whole night has been covered in those reels. So I totally agree with you, Sesha. I mean, I also have different type of accounts, but what matters is that I keep certain time just for LinkedIn. I do not do anything, even not my professional work or anything in that particular time. I just focus on what LinkedIn is offering to me, right? So, I mean, I totally agree with you, Sesha, and thank you so much for joining us today and sharing such clear, actionable advice that people can actually go ahead and do it. And I'm sure that everyone here is walking away with more confidence and clarity about LinkedIn. So, to
Absolutely.
all our listeners, the only thing I would want to say is that stay consistent, stay authentic, and start building your brand today, because your career story starts with visibility, has to start with visibility, and has to be very intentional. And LinkedIn actually gives you that platform, and now it's up to you on how you use it. So, thank you for being here, and we will see you soon in the next episode.